there, guys. Welcome back to another episode of E&Ftv. Today, we are joined by my very good friend, Catt McLeod, who is the Director of Strategic Partnerships at HotelREZ. Catt, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me, and I'm so happy that we have finally got to sit down and record with you
I
talking
know.
about time.
I know. It's one of those where obviously you and I have known each other for a little while now. We keep seeing each other at different events and we keep saying you need to get on the show, and finally been able to make it happen. Guys, I have no doubt that you will probably know exactly who Catt is because she's probably connected to everybody that anyone knows. But just in case you don't, we're going to be hearing all about Catt, her background, her job now, and also all about HotelREZ. But just before we get into the episode, I just want to give you a couple of quick updates. One of them is we achieved just over 10,000 views on our YouTube channel. So it is growing. It's getting that traction that we want. But I just want to say to you, if you're watching this, you enjoy the channel, you enjoy this episode, please do head over to the YouTube channel, like, subscribe, and drop a comment on there. Let us know what you think. But yeah, so go over there, do what you can to support the channel. Thanks very much. So Catt, without further ado, for anybody that doesn't know who you are, I mean, we have a lot of people at the start of their careers, maybe currently studying at university, and also recent grads. It'd be really good to understand maybe what your background is, how you got started in hospitality, and of course, what brought you to your role now, and a little bit about what HotelREZ does for its clients.
Well, thank you. So I started in hospitality, glass collecting, and then as soon as I turned 18, working in pubs. And I worked for a chain which was part of Allied to Mech, which I'm not sure even exists anymore, which was the Firkin pub. So I worked at the Philanthropist in Firkin and the Fedora in Firkin, and worked my way through college, through my gap year, and through university. And when I was at university in Twickenham, I worked in a number of very, very large pubs in Twickenham, the legendary Cabbage Patch being one of them, and just the most indescribable, I'm struggling to describe it, experience of working in such busy environments, in that face-to-face environment. So when I graduated, I started temping, and I got a temping interview for a company called Utel. And Utel at the time was a distribution company. And the question that got me the job was, can you mail merge? And I said yes. And then went home and learned how to mail merge. And something that hospitality taught me was to say, the guest asks something, say, yes, let me just figure out how I can make that happen. It was 21 years ago that I started in distribution, and Pegasus Utel was one of those companies that was like a university for distribution and representation. And since then, I've worked for HotelREZ after that, and then Supranational Hotels, which was a not-for-profit cooperative global representation company. So that was a very, very interesting experience. And I became commercial director at Supranational when it was really preparing for sale and to be sold. Well, we didn't know who it would be sold to. So that was an amazing experience, and really fortuitous as well, because due to the sale, I had the opportunity to come back to HotelREZ. When I left HotelREZ the last time, Mark Lewis, our owner and founder, gave me a massive hug, wished me luck in the world, said, don't touch our hotels. And I have no doubt that HotelREZ will grow and you'd be welcome back anytime. And then 2016, I came back.
And in terms of your role now then, so what is it that you do in your current role?
So my title is Strategic Partnerships, and really what I do is in three areas. One is working with partners to solve a problem for our existing members. So that could be in really driving their direct booking strategy and getting them onto our booking engine, to convert more reservations from a direct channel. That could be for corporate sales and on-demand sales team, or it could be a partner integrating with their PMS. So we are integrated, for example, with over 160 property management systems.
Right.
But that also includes the brand new ones, and the up and coming ones like the Apaleos,
Yep.
and the Muses. Historically, we've always sought to be very open to connecting and those integrations with those technology partners.
Sure.
So that's the first part. The second part is leading on from that, driving more reservations to the HotelREZ members.
Yep.
And looking at all of the routes to market for a hotel, whether that's the direct website, the wedding business, the meetings and centre conference and events, the corporate booker booking via the global distribution systems, and the travel management companies and the consortia, really looking at all of those channels and making sure that they're connected. And the third bit is business development, signing up new members to HotelREZ, Hotels and Resorts, to Best Loved Hotels and World Rainbow Hotels, and growing the portfolio. So that's been amazing because we work with such a wonderful variety of properties.
Yeah, no, for sure. Now, you've of course been at HotelREZ for some time now. Obviously, you were there, then left, obviously came back. You've got a lot of, I have no doubt, to be fair, there are a lot of proud moments. I mean, there's probably stacks of them. But is there one, or is there a proud moment that really sticks out to you?
I think the thing I'm most proud of is the team and the way that the team has grown. I think that's the most exciting thing.
Sure.
So Mark and Daniel and Yvonne, our director of operations, Catherine, they've built and grown the team as individuals, and I'm a beneficiary of this. You know, when I started, and enables people to come in. You know, I came in as a director of business development, but we've had other team members come in reservations, in rate loading, and be able to grow and develop. And one of my colleagues, Thomas Allen, he's now one of our account managers, and just absolutely smashing it, looking after his hotels. Sarah Whitehead, who has become such an authority on PMS integrations, which is very, I mean, it's a real kind of nerdy and specific thing. And she's kind of developed a passion for that, and HotelREZ has enabled her to pursue that and progress within the company. So many of our team members, it makes a massive difference when I sign up a new client. I'm really proud of the clients that I've signed up to HotelREZ.
Sure.
You know, fantastic groups like Point A Hotels, Easy Hotel, Sarova, the Zeta Group. I can really trust the team to look after our hoteliers. And
they're in very good hands. They're in very good hands. And the beautiful thing as well, like you said, it's watching them grow, you know, them starting from the beginning with HotelREZ and watching their career grow throughout, because you would have seen it. And of course, watching them develop in terms of skill set, confidence, knowledge. I mean, you said, was it Sarah, did you say? That now knows her stuff. She takes ownership of that, even though it's such a niche, but that's now her space. And that's a wonderful thing to see. And again, I think it's testament to Mark and the other leadership team with regards to keeping that door, you know, just for somebody like you, keeping that door open, not burning those bridges and staying open, because you never know what can happen in the future. And that is a wonderful, wonderful thing. So no, I completely get why that would be a proud thing. And as you say, when you bring on new clients, you know for a fact that they're coming into a team that is going to absolutely not only take care of them, but help them on their way to driving that positive change within their business, which is just awesome. In terms of, I suppose, HotelREZ, so for anybody that doesn't currently use HotelREZ, let's say, or isn't a client of HotelREZ, something that you and I have spoken about, and we've spoken about back in the old revenue hacks days of breaking down those silos, right? So what is it that HotelREZ does to unify the different functions, i.e., marketing, sales, revenue, reservations, this sort of thing? Because I know that that's what you guys are amazing at, but just for the relevance of the audience, what is it that you guys do there, and why is it so important?
Good question. I think that the silos are. I was at the hotel marketing conference a couple of weeks ago, and I was so excited to see some revenue management professionals and directors of revenue management at the conference alongside the heads of marketing. And what we do at HotelREZ when we go to the Hotel Electronic Distribution Network Association, which is HEDNA, we go to that conference, but also when we go to ITB or World Travel Market, is when you look at hotels or a company like HotelREZ, we have operations, revenue management, rate load, reservations. We have sales, we have marketing, we have demand sales. And what we do as a business is we work together. So I will go to HEDNA with our Director of Operations, Catherine Mays. We'll go to ITB with Sarah and Catherine, which was amazing, because I would encourage hoteliers to, you know, when they're working with their PMS, when they're working with their channel manager, any of their distribution partners, understand how operations, reservations, revenue, marketing, and sales all contribute to this distribution strategy. So, for example, when we look at a new demand partner, where global preferred partner with ABC, American Express, GBT, all of the main consortia and travel management companies, and that's a demand sales effort and area. Daniel Simmons, our Chief Commercial Officer, Emma Stevenson, our Head of Demand Sales, they drive those partnerships. But what they also then do is they work with operations, rates, loading, reservations, to make sure those rates are loaded, to make sure that sits within our rate strategy that we work with our hoteliers on, so that, you know, getting into a corporate RFP or a consortium RFP, and Emma always says this, that's the first thing. And if I was to put myself in the shoes of a director of sales at a hotel, and I'm very excited because I've just got into the Pfizer corporate RFP or the GlaxoSmithKline just down the road from where I am now. I've got into that RFP. I've used the tools, HotelREZ to market, to do my content, and I've been accepted. That is the beginning of the work. The next is operations, is front of house, how they're going to greet guests, bring that guest in. Perhaps there's sometimes an opportunity to get more business from that company. Most of the corporate guests can't necessarily book directly on a hotel's website, but you can certainly find out if there are more guests booking in the area that perhaps aren't staying at your property. And market them, generate that repeat business. So that, you know, that front of house welcome, capturing email addresses. But there's also the revenue management and rates loading and an IT manager sometimes. You know, IT can be sitting there in a silo on its own, in a cupboard, but windows, really drawing those partners in, say, okay, well, IT actually, you know, how can we get these integrations? We're currently integrated with a channel manager. Does that give us the best opportunity? Or should we look at integrating with our property management system? Do we benefit from a revenue management piece of technology? How's that going to affect our distribution channels? So, really getting everybody in on that conversation, and making sure that we're working with the right people at every part of the hotel, which is great because we get to see the front of house and have the amazing experiences of hospitality, and we also see the back offices. And I will always remember a very dear friend, Paul Salt, who used to work for Apex Hotels.
Oh, Paul, shout out to Paul.
Shout out to Paul Salt. Cucumber and Philadelphia sandwiches in their staff canteen. And, you know, as hospitality, for me as a supplier, because actually a massive thing is showing that hospitality to your staff, of course, to your guests, but everybody knows about that, right? Reminds me of what I'm reading at the moment, which is over on the kitchen island. Unreasonable hospitality. But showing that hospitality to your suppliers and working in partnership with your suppliers, that's been a huge privilege. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Well, again, it's an interesting one because you guys, you do end up touching on every part of your client's sort of journey in this process. And it's not, I imagine, it's not that they're fundamentally doing something wrong, but it's just you enhancing, you tweaking, let's ask the question, let's develop here, let's push this. And that's where they will then exceed past their competitors. It's one of those where every little counts in this market right now.
And sometimes it's incremental. One of the wonderful things is that we work with a lot of different and varied properties, so we get the opportunity to learn from each other and the properties that we're working with, and our partners. So one of our properties where we're providing the booking engine at the moment, just moved over to our booking engine. So we're stripping it down. We're saying, right, what online travel agents are you working with?
Yeah.
What search are you connected with today, and what work have you done on that before? What does your Google Maps profile look like? But also, what does your Apple Maps profile look like?
Okay.
How does that vary between device?
Yeah.
And that's been really, really interesting. And we've been working with, so we use the Sabre Hospitality Solutions reservation systems to Nexus. And using that tool, saying, okay, for another property, they've been with us for quite a long time. And now the opportunity to work with them on their booking engine has come up. And we've been able to very quickly say, well, you exist today on the CRS. So actually, onto the booking engine, this is how it would work. This is how the corporate journey would work. This is how your leisure booker would work. This is how you can use digital wallets with one of our partners, Selfbook. One of our properties is up for an award at the moment for the best, the Elms Hotel.
Right.
And his team there have really taken the available technology stack.
Sure.
And run with it, and are working with another partner, One Journey. And I think the great opportunity is to look at each property, look at each group, and tailor the strategy and the distribution to each individual property. And I think that's a great thing to be able to do, because you pour your heart and soul into your property, and whether it's the Bull at Sonning or the Palazzo Versace in Dubai, that's got a lot of love and effort into it. So our job is to make sure that then those reservations are coming through.
Definitely. And I suppose this is quite a key one, because it's something that, again, you and I have spoken about, and a number of other people in the industry have spoken about it, but that whole breaking the silo thing. So if there was any hoteliers watching this episode now, Catt, what would you say to them, the fundamental reasons as to why you think we need to be doing this? So if they're still working in those environments where there are those silos still in place, why do we need to break those walls down?
To generate more profitable more reservations, more profitable reservations, a better spend per guest, because you are, through working together, the promises that marketing make and everything that marketing does, through to the sales process, whether that's a digital sales process or a human sales process, through to how that booking's fulfilled and delivered into your PMS, and making sure that you've got those details so that you can market pre, during, and post stay to the hotel. If everybody's working together, and you have morning prayers at the hotel where you find out every morning of any notable guests, anything you need to be aware of for the day coming up. If everybody's working together, then it just drives that incremental profit, and ultimately makes our businesses sustainable. And I mean sustainable, in a human way, that we're driving those reservations, we're driving those sales, because that means we can invest more into our product, into the property, into staff, And that's really what I see of the benefit of breaking down those silos.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So if there are any hoteliers, and I guess this is the point where you need to kind of be honest with yourself, but if you've listened to what Catt said and you are still sitting within that space, get in touch with Catt, get in touch with people around you in the industry, find out a little bit more as to why you should be breaking down those walls. And of course, if you're not a client of HotelREZ at the moment, but you want to explore things that Catt's actually spoken about, or you think that they could have benefit your business, please do get in touch with Catt. I'll pop all the details down below for HotelREZ, just so you can find out a little bit more as well. Now, Catt, HotelREZ have always got something going on. You're always all over my LinkedIn feed. You've always got developments going on. But please do give us a bit of an insight into what's going on with HotelREZ, any plans that you've got coming up, or anything going on in the future.
That's such a mean question, Tom, because you know,
I've been so quiet for so long.
No, I know, and thank you so much. So we're hiring in Newark and expanding our operations. Very, very excited about that. Okay, we can promise to keep it. We will be launching a new global soft brand, the Elegant Hotel Collection. Can't say too much about it yet, but I am bursting with excitement about this. Yeah. It's been a long time in coming, and a lot of conversations with our hoteliers, with our consortia and travel management company partners. We've grown to be, and we've grown to be the third biggest consortia worldwide of independent hotels and representation company. And where do you go from that? How do you keep on driving more reservations and benefits and value to your hotelier members and new prospect hotelier members now? So yes, watch this space for the Elegant Hotel Collection.
Well, congratulations to you. Congratulations to HotelREZ. I know how excited you are about this, and I cannot wait to see what comes. So what I would say as well, as we've already discussed, we're really looking forward to welcoming you back on to talk all about Elegant Hotel Collection, what's going to be happening with it, and of course, I guess the properties as well. So we'll be hearing all about that next time you come on the show. But Catt, I just want to say a huge, huge thank you to you. I know how incredibly busy you are. I know that you're usually traveling here, there, and everywhere at all the different events that are going on in the industry. But that's why we love you so much, because we always see you at all the best stuff. So thank you so much for joining us on this week's episode. I know our audience are going to be really interested in what you've had to say.
Thank you so much for having us. And watch this space, and I'll see you soon.
Definitely. Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode. We really hope you've enjoyed it. As I said at the start of the episode, please do head over to the YouTube channel, press the subscribe button. If you're all about revenue management and the wider commercial functions within hospitality and travel and tourism, or you're really interested in the tech solution side of things, we have over 120 episodes on there now with industry leaders, private events, but also big conferences as well. And we take you with us everywhere. So please do drop us a subscribe, click the like button, also comment, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you.